you're a football fan, you know who Howie Long is. Since 1994, Howie has been the face of football on Sunday, providing a unique analysis to millions of viewers for almost 30 years. But before we welcomed him into our homes, Howie spent 13 years in the NFL, forcing his way into offensive backfields and becoming a Hall of Fame defensive end. I'm Steven Jackson, and in this episode of Legends, we remind the football world just how great number 75 for the Raiders was. Howie Matthew Moses Long was born January 6, 1960, Somerville, Massachusetts. Howie had a rough upbringing in Charlestown, Boston's oldest neighborhood. But after he moved to the suburbs to live with his Uncle Billy, a former soldier and a football player in the Army, Howie got the guidance he needed to get his life on track. Football was a part of that. His junior year at Milford High, Howie and the football team went undefeated, and they won the state championship. In his senior year, he was all-state. Scouts took notice of his size, his speed, and his toughness. After numerous colleges pursued him, Howie chose Villanova, who offered a 4-year scholarship. Over those 4 years, the Wildcats, they were an average team. Howie did his job to the best of his ability, particularly as a run stopper. By his senior year, he was projected to be a late-round pick in the 1981 NFL Draft. He was actually the type of athlete who Al Davis, owner and GM of the Super Bowl champions Oakland Raiders, loved to have on his team. Sure enough, in the second round with the number 48 pick overall, the Raiders shocked analysis and scouts by selecting Howie Long. As a rookie, he didn't start, but Howie did his thing. He logged 7.5 sacks to lead the team. Veterans nicknamed him the Caveman due to his looks and his approach to life and to the game. To beat blockers, Howie developed a signature move, the rip, which would break an offensive lineman's grip and allow Howie to get past them. He had a rip technique that I got a chance to see firsthand from his son, Chris Long, which was a teammate of mine. Passed on that talent and that skill set to his children. And another thing you can't take away, or you can't give anyone, and that's the love for the game. The love for the game has to be there, because a lot of times you're going to be matched up against other football players that are going to be just as physically talented, or if not more. But it's the will of the man, it's the will of the person. Following this season, the Raiders were moved from Oakland to Los Angeles. Howie not only earned a starting job, but he would go on to become one of Hollywood's leading men. He became a fearsome presence in the middle of the defense. It took multiple blockers to keep him from pushing right into the quarterback's face. But Howie also would rush from the edge, and he got home with the rip move, allowing him to leave the tackle in the dust. By 1983, Howie Long would find his rhythm, and the Raiders, they would give their fan base a season to remember. Los Angeles started 4-0. In a Week 5 matchup against Washington, the defending champs, Howie sacked Joe Theismann 5 times. Still, Washington overcame a 17-point deficit and went on to win the game. Howie and the Raiders never forgot that moment. Howie finished with a career-high 13 sacks and ranked 9th in the league. He was selected to the Pro Bowl, named second-team All-Pro, and received down-ballot votes for Defensive Player of the Year. In the postseason, Los Angeles rolled through Pittsburgh 38-10. Seattle 30-14 to set up a Super Bowl rematch with Washington. The Raiders' defense dominated the game. They would go on to win 38-9 and give Howie a Super Bowl ring in just his 3rd season. He followed up the championship run with another incredible year in 1984. Howie earned first-team All-Pro honors and was named the NFL Defensive Lineman of the Year by NFL Alumni Association. From 1984 to 1987, Howie was a perennial Pro Bowler, compiling a total of 33.5 sacks with 6 fumble recoveries. In his 8th pro season in 1988, Howie came out red hot. He had 3 sacks in his first 2 games and his first career interception, which he returned 73 yards, but he was chased down by the QB. But 6 games into the year, Howie suffered a calf injury that forced him to miss 9 games. Tough as nails, he made sure he made it back for the season finale against Seattle. Howie played 5 more seasons, making a Pro Bowl 3 more times, And when he retired in 1993 at the age of 34, he was a 5-time All-Pro, 8-time Pro Bowler, and an NFL Defensive Player of the Year, not to mention a Super Bowl champion. With all these accomplishments, it's unsurprising that in 2000, Howie Long was elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. When Fox won the rights to air the NFL in 1994, they targeted Howie to serve as a straight man to Terry Bradshaw on the NFL pregame show. It's a role he now has played twice as long as he played. That might ultimately be how a lot of NFL fans remember Howie Long. But number 75 was a beast on the football field for the Raiders. His blend of speed, size, and toughness is one that he should be remembered for. He's something you already know we would call a legend.